This is the 17th season of Bass Talk Live with your hosts, Mark Jeffries and Matt Pingrack. BTL is brought to you by Lawrence, Bass Cat Boats, AFCO, Duck and Fishing, Strike King Lures, Sunline, Big Bite Baits, Spro, Exo Lures, Gamakatsu, The Bass Tank, and Denali Rods. BTL coming at you. Good Wednesday, everybody. Welcome once again to another edition of BTL Bass Talk Live, where Matt and I are going to talk bass fishing and anything else that we want to talk about. Matthew, how you doing, man?
I'm good. We had a fired up conversation before we went live on air. Obviously, we are in Big 12 country. Both of us are University of Oklahoma graduates. We've had Brad Hallman in, who knows more about OU football than anyone. Anyway, just the whole rankings thing came out, and if you're not a college football fan, you don't really understand it. But if you are, a lot of talking points on that, and I'm sitting here trying to relate it back to bass fishing. And I think I found a way, and it has nothing to do with schedules. But anyway, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, no, real quick, I have to tell you this. Just a quick story first, and then we'll dive into that. On Tuesday nights, I do the coaches show.
Today's Wednesday, so that would have been last night for the high school.
For the high school.
Basketball or football?
Football.
Coach? So the football coach.
Football coach, yeah.
Wait, are you like the co-host where you're the one sitting in the chair and he's facing you?
I'm asking questions.
Okay. All
right. It's the first time we've done it. This year was the first time. This was the
Where can we watch this?
On BlanchardLions.com.
So if I go to BlanchardLions.com right now, I can pull up you as the host of it?
Yeah. Anyway, let me continue. I was really, really embarrassed and felt really bad because we do this live from Mazzio's Pizza in Blanchard. So it takes me a little while to get set up, and I was late because I had a doctor's appointment, and traffic was horrible going from Norman back to Blanchard. So I get there, and I'm scrambling, getting everything set up. The audio didn't work. Finally got that figured out, and we were good to go. But I didn't have a pen and a piece of paper, and the next thing I know, here comes Coach, and I don't have anything to write on or anything. Well, one of the things that we do during the coaches show, we always have two player guests on. Just have them come on and, kind of introduce them to the fans. Introduce them to friends and family.
There you are. You're interviewing the coach.
Yeah.
There you're interviewing a player. He's got a Tar Heels hat on. Is he going to North Carolina?
No, I asked him all about that.
Okay.
Anyway.
It's a 55-minute show. Now the coach is back on.
The dude with the North Carolina cap on, I turned and I looked at Coach, and I go, what's his kid's name again? And he told me something. And I didn't remember the guy's name.
Oh, and you're the host of the show.
And I'm the host of the show. And I thought it was Zane or something.
This is a debacle.
Oh, I was so embarrassed.
Well, that's real easy. Did you have a break before you came on?
Yeah, but I didn't have any paper. I didn't have a pen.
Okay, that's super easy. This is what you do.
What do I do next?
You say,
hey, it's not going to happen.
You say, hey, man, how do you spell your name? And then you pretend like you're typing it into the computer, and then you say first name, and he'll spell it out. You're like, and then you say last name, and then you spell it out.
I was a mess last night. Anyway, I felt so bad for the kid.
That might be worth watching.
You know what I told him? I said, dude, here, I'm going to make it up to you. See the buffet over there? Just go get all the pizza you want. Get whatever drink you want. It's on me.
Does that fall under the NIL?
What?
Name him. Oh, and then you had another guy with those are still around, Letterman's jackets.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that really used to be a thing in fishing.
Yeah.
And it really went away. The Ranger jacket with your name and then your 8-man patches on it. Remember that? Is that the equivalent of a high school Letterman's jacket?
I think the high school Letterman's jacket is a little bit further up
now
there.
I know that
in the industry,
Fighter broke it out before. We've had guys. He had his dads, I think, on from the day. But when did that become no longer in vogue? Like, was there a year that everyone just decided the zip-up hunter green jackets with the sweatshirt hoods no longer existed? Or remember they had the collars with the two stripes on it?
I think the 2000s.
Why did those go away?
I don't know. The satin jacket.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't even see them around anymore. The Ranger jacket. Everybody wanted those Ranger jackets.
I've got one.
Do you?
Yeah. They embroidered one for me after the Casting Kids event. You've had one.
Might have been the late 90s. Late 90s, early 2000s.
I wonder why those went away. Because everyone
Styling.
has one.
Hey, man, nobody has a jersey anymore. Hardly. Well, you tell me on the opens. Nobody has a jersey unless it's supplemented now. Do you still have people out there with the tack twill?
No, but
or the embroidery?
No, they kind of chafed the nipples. Well, you had it embroidered on the inside. I don't want to
hear that.
And then it was warm, and then if you were casting.
Why would you say that?
Because I had one that we wore at OU, and I had to double shirt or tape the nipples underneath because we get done for a day, and it said Oklahoma embroidered on it, but where they had embroidered it on the back was just poorly located.
Dude, it's a simple solution. It's called an undershirt.
I'm just saying, you were asking why guys don't have it.
Chafing the nipples.
I think it's a comfort issue, to be honest with you. I think that's a comfort issue.
Anyway, I felt really bad for the kid. The second kid that came on, I knew his name because he's a
What is with
basketball
everyone?
player.
This guy's wearing a White Sox hat.
Yeah. They just show up after practice. Dude, the pizza place was packed.
Awesome. Well, that's cool. Yeah. BlanchardLions.com, and then click on the
I was
coaches
thoroughly
game replay.
embarrassed. It was horrible. It was one of my worst
it happens.
interviews ever. It sucked. It was bad.
You'll get through it.
Bad. All right, man. Dive into this comparison.
Okay, so here it is. So everyone is talking in the college football world. Obviously, the rankings came out. Cincinnati's undefeated. Strength of schedule. They beat Notre Dame. Everyone's talking about Cincinnati's disrespected at number 6. There's hardly any path to the playoff for them. Whatever, right? Like there's just no respect or lack. Even though the committee says they do respect them, it's just hard to. Who, in your opinion, over the past 20 years of professional bass fishing, is the this year's Cincinnati of the professional fishing world?
Wow.
Is that not a fair question?
That's a good question. Off the top of my head, I
the guy who does everything right, who has wins, he
has wins.
Who should be in the Kevin, Wheeler, Edwin, Skeet, that realm. But just kind of gets overlooked by people like me and you sometimes even.
Man. I don't know. I'm going to have to look at a list. I've never really pondered that thought. That's a good question, though. Let me see here. I'm assuming you have somebody off the top of your head.
Not really. I was hoping you'd kind of roll with this one. Because I really didn't think of it until the show opened.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, hang on. I'm going to look at a list here real quick. All right, here. I'll throw a name out. No, I'm not going to do that because you can't really compare the two. Can't do that. How about John Cruz? Winner?
Yeah, but not a consistent winner.
Steve Kennedy?
I think he gets his due.
Let's see here.
Cruz is there, but Cruz is not consistently vying for Angler of the Year, classic wins. You know what I mean? Like Cruz is like the pro's pro, who could easily win or do any of that. Now I know, yeah, he's been in the running before, but I'm talking about like has a really good resume, but just seems to kind of get overlooked, a little bit disrespected per se.
I don't know why you would disrespect this guy if you use that term, but it hasn't happened.
Underappreciated.
How about Hank Cherry? Back-to-back classic wins?
You know what? Yeah, that's a good.
How about that?
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
That 100% would be a good one.
Yeah.
I like that. I also think when we're talking about this and we talk about it, that Michael Neal gets overlooked from time to time.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of, ink this past probably couple of years. A lot of exposure.
As much as he should?
Probably.
When we talk about the young guys under 35 in this industry that are making waves.
Yeah, I think so.
I leave him off the list sometimes. And if you look at it, I mean, the guy is all approaching $1.5 million in career earnings. He's the reigning pro circuit angler of the year. He has 34 top 20s. He's got the wins. He's almost won a Forest Wood Cup. He has 33 top 10s. Look at what he does in the industry with the running the Dayton boat dock and the industry side of it. And you have to remember, he's still really young.
What happens if Hank Cherry wins 3 in a row? Which quite possibly might happen. Talking about Bassmaster Classics. Do you think he's underappreciated?
Hank? Yeah, I really do.
Yeah.
I think he's won his classics at an odd time to win back-to-back classics.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Michael Neal on the pro circuit, 6th, 43rd, 29th, 2nd, 6th, 36th, and 12th. That's just the title in the pro circuit title, so the Forest Wood Cup. But then his Angler of the Year finishes, starting in 13. This is on just the pro circuit: 20th, 7th, 31st, 8th, 11th, 14th, and 1st.
I'm looking through this list again. I think right now. No, I think right now Hank Cherry would be at the top of my list.
Yeah. I like Faircloth was the other one. I've said that before, but I think that's
Bobby Lane?
Yeah, I think Bobby gets his.
That's an interesting
Bobby
question.
gets fair credit for his accomplishments. Mine would be Michael Neal.
I'm going with Hank Cherry.
And yours would be Hank Cherry.
Yeah.
We got all our bases.
Dude, what's going to happen if he wins 3 in a row? That's just pure epicness.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, he's got to be one of the top 3 or 4 favorites going into it. I mean, it's on Hartwell. He's a Carolina guy.
I know.
We do have a guest today that will be fishing against Hank Cherry next year on the Bassmaster Elite Series. I kind of hyped it up as 3 22-year-olds because actually on Jacob Foutz's profile, it does not have his actual birthday on there. He just turned 23 in June.
Okay.
So we had 2 22 and a 23-year-old. Still the 3 youngest that have qualified for the Bassmaster Elite
comment.
Series.
The one right above Prime Fishing.
Brian the Carpenter. Highly underrated. I agree.
Highly underrated. By the way, folks, from what I understand, there's going to be an Ike Live show on Monday, November 8th, of which there is a possibility that Ike and Ellie may come out and say what his plans are for 2022.
Oh, this is vintage Ike.
It's very good marketing.
Yes. He's got a picture of all of them. Elite Series, MLF, Big 5, or other. Can we rule out the MLF Big 5? I don't think I see Ike going and fishing 6 pro circuit events. I'm
sticking to it, man. I said a long time ago, I do not believe he's going to fish the Elite Series.
I will put a 12-pack on that he does.
Of my choice. Of your choice.
He was way too genuinely nervous, excited, weighing in at that last Northern Open for a guy who's just going to go do his TV show and not get back into it. I mean, I watched him in those Northern. He was ripping around at 78 miles an hour.
That's how he rolls.
I know, but I think he wants to get back in that classic. I think he was genuinely excited about requalifying. And if he did not want to requalify, he would have been pissed that he did not contend for a win to get back in the classic because he's looking at this as another way to get back in it.
I'm sticking to it.
I think he does. I think that fire still burns in
I
him
have no
for
inside info.
the competition, and neither do I.
Yeah.
But except for that moment that I saw of him where he wasn't being Ike, he was being a guy who's like, hell yeah, I'm back in.
He's really, really all in on his television show. And
yeah, but how many years has he done a television show?
This is different, dude. It's a totally different venue. Totally different. And I know his ultimate objective is to get it on a bigger network than CBS Sports.
I still think he fishes. I mean, the guy's made a career out of juggling.
All right, what are you going with? 12-pack of what, if I'm wrong?
Well, for you, it's like watermelon, peach diet, sparkling tonic water. For me...
I will choose my own here. Thank you very much. What's your choice?
I'll just go with the Oklahoma standard of Coors Light.
That's pretty basic.
It is basic.
What's a 12-pack run in Oklahoma now?
Like $12.
Oh, it's not that much. All right,
how much is your stuff? You have to go to
health food
Sprouts
store
to get it?
No, I'm not going to go with that, dude. It doesn't matter.
What do you want? Diet green tea?
No, I got 2 cases of that down there, so I have plenty.
What do you want?
I don't know.
Well, you can't make a bet without it. Some Hennessy?
Find some Lowenbrow. How about that? You ever heard of that?
What is Lowenbrow?
Folks out there, fans, do you remember what Lowenbrow
How
was?
do you spell that?
I don't even think they brew
Not
it
like
anymore.
Bill Lowen, Lowen.
No, I don't even think they brew it
It's got to
anymore.
be German.
Tonight's the night, let it be Lowenbrow. That was their big tagline. I don't even know if they still brew it.
This
What?
thing looks like you need to have a kilt to drink it. What?
I couldn't taste it anyway, but I remember that I was a big fan of the Lowenbrow. So it doesn't matter. Heck, you could buy me the
It's a traditional Munich-style beer that's exclusively imported from Lowenbräu Brewery in Munich.
Yeah.
Lowenbräu original lager beer is made from the highest quality ingredients, giving it a superb natural head, golden color, distinctive refreshing flavor, which you will not be able to enjoy,
No, I will not.
or the pleasant, enjoyable aftertaste.
Lowenbrow. I don't know if they still brew it, though. Couldn't tell you. Stroh's.
We've already been down the kilt path, and then we got a bunch of weird emails. The guys
Yeah.
fishing in kilts.
You got to go on a mission and find out if they still brew Lowenbrow or not.
I don't know if I agree to that, because that seems like it might be, it's not something you're just going to go down to the 7-Eleven and pick up.
No. Gonna have to do a little research. I'll tell you what, tonight during league, the guy that I bowl with on Wednesday nights, he is a liquor, wine, and beer distributor. I will ask him tonight if they still make it. If anybody knows,
See if he can get some kokanee, too.
some what?
Kokanee.
Is that a Canada thing?
Yeah, it's glacier distilled beer out of Canada.
Okay. I'll ask him. Got to write it down
I've
for
got
me.
2 left.
I'm not going to remember that. Heck, I couldn't even remember
I
a
won't
kid's name
remember-
last night.
I won't remember Lowenbräu. You're still going to end up with some sort of oddly
Beer.
flavored tonic.
Beer. It just says beer on the side. the white can with the blue letters.
40 ounce of Bud
Beer.
Ice for $1.80 from Dollar General.
Jeez. That's really bad. Anyway, good show today. And Matt, I got to give it up to you. Great idea on having a rookie week this week, kind of a themed week. We've had some great guests. And if you haven't listened to the 2 previous shows, you need to, because there's some nuggets in there.
There is. So we actually, Jacob Foutz finished second in the Bassmaster Southern Opens this past year. And quite frankly, pretty much any other year would have finished first had it not been for David Williams going 4th, and 18th. Jacob actually had 3 consecutive top 20 finishes. 4th at the Harris Chain, 11th at Douglas, and then 20th at Lake Norman, which, having fished all 9 of them myself, I do feel like the Southern Open schedule was by far the most diverse schedule
Yeah,
out
I
of
agree
all
with
of
that.
them. I mean, the grass and stuff at Florida, kind of a weird post-spawn deal at Douglas with a lot of bites, and then an ultra-tough spotted bass deal at Lake Norman, and he came out with 3 top 20s. So he's been at it for a while.
Yeah.
He's made some money, he's cashed some checks, and now he'll be on the Elite Series. So
All right. We'll get into it. By the way, somebody put Red Dog. That was a good beer, too. I don't know if that's still around. Red Dog, do you remember that one?
it sounds familiar. I
It
don't.
was really good. And then somebody else also made a post about the Atlanta Braves winning the World Series,
Yeah.
which was cool. I think the last time they won was 95 or 96. I can't remember.
Yeah. Is that like Tom
It's been a while.
Glavine?
Yeah, Dale
John
Murphy.
John
Dale,
Rocker?
Dude, Dale Murphy was one of my all-time favorite baseball players.
Greg Maddux?
I think so.
John Schmaltz?
Yeah, I'm impressed. You're naming all pitchers.
Yeah. Well, I just remember John Rocker.
Greatest Brave name of all time, though.
Bobby Cox.
No. Biff Pocoroba. I looked that one up. Biff, Biff Pocoroba. He was a catcher for the Atlanta Braves. He went around the league a little bit, but yeah, he played with the Braves. Biff Pocoroba.
Kokanee. That was the beer I was talking about.
Yeah. Biff. That'd be a good name. That's what you need to have your weigh-in name.
Biff. You like the weird names. You're a big fan of Gills Malash.
Oh, what's the other? Spike Stoker. That
he
might be
fishes the open.
Yeah, that might be the greatest name in bass fishing right there. Spike Stoker. Anyway, all right, we're going to take a break, come back with Jacob. Everybody stay tuned on a Wednesday.
Elite FS puts the full range of Lowrance fish finding tools at your fingertips. Find fish with active imaging 3-in-1 with Fish Reveal. Target fish with active target live sonar and watch fish react to your lure as it happens. Built-in C-Map Contour Plus charts make it easy to find key fishing areas. But best-in-class charts and powerful sonar is only the beginning. It's easy to build your fully networked FS system. From sonar and waypoint sharing to controlling the Ghost trolling motor and power poles. Lowrance Elite FS. Targeting fish just got easier.
The new Puma STS has been redesigned from the ground up. With the angler, design, function, and performance in mind, nothing on this new offering was compromised, and the only thing carried over from the previous version is the name. Based on the Soft Touch series hull that started with the flagship Jaguar, this new model is nimble and performs incredibly well at all speeds with either a 250 or 300 horsepower engine. Featuring a new 96-inch wide-body footprint, this hull measures out at 20 foot 7 inches in length. Industry-leading design coupled with tournament-winning performance. The Puma STS from Basscat. Feel the rush.
There's one.
You know what works. Now you need a bunch of them so you don't run out on your next fishing trip. The Big Bite Pro Packs feature 25 baits per pack at a price far below that of having to buy 5 packs of regular baits. Now the Pro Pack has a big brother, the Mega Pack. The Mega Pack features 100 of your favorite baits.
With these, one bag is usually plenty to get through the day. It helps me stay organized, helps me save money, helps me catch more fish.
Combining one of the most popular hook styles with Gamakatsu's beefier Superline offering, the Gamakatsu Superline Offset Round Bend delivers the strength necessary to target big fish in heavy cover. Well suited for braided line and heavier fluorocarbon, the Gamakatsu Superline Offset Round Bend is built using stronger Superline wire that allows anglers to easily fish a finesse worm around heavy cover. The round bend offers a larger bite area, perfect for any worm presentation, while increasing your hookup ratios. The newly enhanced Z-Bend holds your plastics on the hook longer, reducing the number of pull-offs and reducing damage to plastics. Available in 2/0, 3/0, 4/0, and 5/0, this is the most durable worm hook, designed for heavier lines that hold your bait on longer.
So, you're looking to buy fishing electronics, huh? Are you also looking for true experts to help guide you through it? Well, at the Bass Tank, you've come to the right place. We are live forward-facing sonar pioneers with thousands of hours spent learning through winning trophies, cashing checks, and just having fun. Whatever brand you need, we have it. We offer free shipping, and we have 2 financing options available. Our experts are here to help you. Call us today or visit thebasstank.com.
Preparation is key to success. And that preparation starts well before you ever hit the water. You're only as strong as your connection to the fish, and your line is that critical connection. Confidence in your line every minute of every day on the water is a necessity, and failure, it's not an option. Sunline makes the fluorocarbon, nylon, and braided lines to give you the strength to guarantee your confidence.
I've made my living on the water for over 20 years.
For 14 years.
For over 23 years.
I've worn a bunch of different clothing brands over the years.
Some companies big.
And some companies small.
All of them said they were making clothing for us.
But none of them knew us.
None of them were us.
Except for one.
Except for one.
Except one.
AFCO.
AFCO.
AFCO. AFCO.
Fishing isn't part of us. It is us.
Everyone, Brandon Palnick here. People always be asking me what I got tied on. I'm like, X-Zone Lures. And they're like, Brandon, why you got X-Zone Lures tied on? And I'm like, let me show you why.
The bite.
Get out of there. Get out of there. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's pretty big. Get in here. Oh, God. Giant. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I think you get the point.
All right, we are back and we are ready for our very first guest. Let's see if I can get his name right. Jacob Foutz.
Correct.
I wrote it down right here. Unlike the coach's show last night.
You don't even need to phonetically spell out his last name. It's just like it sounds.
Yeah.
As far as I know, we still don't have John Suckup's name right.
No, we're still struggling with that. Anyway,
I think I just got it right there for the first time in 9 years.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we were mentioning Atlanta Braves, great Atlanta Braves players, and I totally forgot about Chipper Jones.
Who was their first baseman? I feel like they had a well-known big
I think it was Chipper Jones.
No, Chipper's third baseman.
He's third base?
Yeah, Chipper's the third baseman.
It was Biff Pocoroba. No.
No, that was the catcher. I feel like they had a first baseman that, and you always watch the Braves going up because of Ted.
Yeah. I can't remember. So somebody help us out on that, on the feedback. All right, let's welcome Jacob to the show. Jacob, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing good. Appreciate you taking time and being a part of Matt's Rookie Theme Week. It's got to be an exciting time for you. I know you've been in the fishing game for a long time, but you're about to be a rookie on the Bassmaster Elite Series, and it's got to be really exciting, man.
Oh my gosh, I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am. It's it's a lifelong dream to compete on the Bassmaster Elite Series and to qualify at 23 years old. I feel pretty fortunate to have made it, and I'm so jacked to get to the St. Johns River there the second week of February.
All right, I want to ask you this, and then I'm going to send it over to Matt. I want to know this year on the Opens, for you to qualify, what was one factor, just one, that really took you over the top to get you in that position to be a part of the Elite Series in 2022?
Man, I guess the biggest this is gonna sound kind of funny, but forward-facing sonar, that was the biggest reason why I think I made it. If I didn't have it, I don't have the year I had, without a doubt. That was pretty much the sole factor.
Interesting. All right, Matt.
How long have you, were you an early embracer of that as soon as it came out? Have you had years of experience, or is this something that you kind of embraced just this past year?
No, I've only had it for I guess a year now. Not even a year, maybe 9-10 months. Pretty much since January, I think, is when I got it on my boat. I haven't had it very long at all, but the difference it's made is it's crazy what the forward-facing sonar has done to the fishing game.
Side note, yes, that first baseman was Fred McGriff.
The crime dog.
Back to it, though. So between Harris, Shade, Douglas, and Norman, what percentage of fish that you weighed in would you say you saw before you caught?
Let's see. Everything I caught at the Harris chain and everything I caught at Norman came off forward-facing sonar. Douglas, I wasn't seeing any I was catching, but I was, scanning around looking for the big rocks that I was catching the smallmouth on at Douglas. So I guess you could say close to 100% almost.
Wow.
Not necessarily seeing them, but just being able to make the right cast or something like that. But without a doubt, if I don't have it, I don't make it this year, because it just made a world of difference.
Wow.
One of the things I talk about the forward-facing sonar, I obviously have John on, who we just mentioned from the Bass Tank, who talks about it. He's kind of the one that got me into it, and then I learned in 2019, starting with the crappie fishing, and have really incorporated it. And it seems to me that while you see a larger and larger and larger percentage of anglers with the forward-facing sonar, I would say 75-80% of the guys in the Opens have it at this point. The guys who live on the water and spend days and days and days and days on the water are really the ones who are able to take advantage of that. You've been guiding a lot on an offshore place like Chickamauga. Would you say that your learning curve with the forward-facing sonar has been drastically cut because of all the time that you have had over the past year looking at it with your job as a guide on Chick?
Oh, definitely, for sure. You learn pretty quick what situations it's really good in and what situations it's not. The biggest thing with forward-facing sonar is from certain times it can be almost a bigger a bigger hindrance than it can be a help. You know, you can spend a lot of time. You can spend a lot of time wasting time just using it, not using it at the right times. And like right now on Chickamauga, you don't need it on your boat. You're fishing matted grass for the most part, so you really don't even need it. Like, I haven't even taken the cover off my unit, and since I got back from Smith Lake for that last open.
I find that interesting because Smith is where I thought it would shine the biggest. I mean, I caught 6 fish there, which wasn't great, but 5 of them were forward-facing sonar, and you finished 153rd there. Now I'm going to go free roll this, or I mean, you would think that would have been a strength for you.
Yeah, look, I fished Smith like a dummy, but I didn't even spend any time looking at my forward-facing sonar that much there. And when I did, I just got so frustrated. I didn't spend enough time out there because, Matt, I'm sure you saw they would follow your stuff back to the boat, but they would never. I never figured out how to get them to commit. But yeah, I almost didn't even go to Smith. I was gonna stay at the house and save some money, but with it being so close, I went anyway. I just kind of went and had fun, but I was pretty much mentally checked out at that point. I was pretty well
focus on 2022.
Yeah. All right. What are your thoughts on the schedule next year
for the Elite Series?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's one of the best schedules I think you could have made, in my opinion. That's a really good schedule, I think. And you're liable to see over. I mean, you could if situations are right, you could see over 100 pounds in the first at least 3, maybe 4 tournaments. If the situation is perfect, then you could see some really 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 big weights the first 4 or 5 for sure. I think it's a great schedule. I'm really excited.
This is a really interesting case study, what the Carhartt College Bass Series has done preparing young anglers for careers in this. And you can go all the way back to Jordan Lee and Matt Lee and these anglers. But if you're not familiar with it, and correct me if I'm wrong on anything, Jacob, but you win the bracket in 17, and then you get to fish in the 18 Bassmaster Classic as a competitor. Then you get your expenses paid for the opens the following year. And then kind of through dynamic, that's that Alan McGuckin deal and all that. Like, you have photo shoots and media events, and they follow you through the year, and you basically get to live a year as a college angler. And you were a freshman at the time. Then you were 18 years old? And you
19
get to,
at the time, yeah.
19 at the time. You get to fish in a classic, fish the 9 opens, have sponsor, and learn how to work with the media. Talk about how important that 2018 year was, and now as you are heading into the Elite Series, how it has prepared you for what you were about to embark on.
Oh my gosh, that was such a huge help for the situation I'm in now. Having that experience at such a young age, it kind of to open my eyes of what the fishing industry was like and how I needed to conduct myself. Going forward, and it really taught me how to network and connect with people in the industry, and fishing. From a fishing standpoint, fishing the opens that year, I learned that I thought maybe I was ready for the Elite Series at that time in my life, but I absolutely was not. I learned so much in 2018 fishing the opens, fishing the classic. Getting to meet all the people in the industry. It's been a big huge help just as far as being able to, now that I'm in a position having qualified for the Elite Series, reaching out to companies to work on a potential partnership for 2022. I kind of have a good idea of how I can go about doing that, and I have connections that I made in 2018, and just that whole year was a incredible help. I'm incredibly fortunate to have done that and have had that opportunity. And the doors that 2018 opened for me, going forward from 2018 was such a big thing in the position I'm in now.
All right, what's your wrap going to be next year? Do you know yet?
I don't have anything really super finalized yet. It's still kind of working. Hopefully by the end of this month, I can have kind of a finalized idea of what it's going to look like, but not entirely sure yet.
When do you have to have all that stuff in by? We've talked about how everyone has such a short window between when they qualify and everything has to be done. Like, what is the timeline window for you to where you're like, hey, this is my wrap, these are my deposits, this is the whole thing? Because it's not that long.
No, yeah, really, you only get 3 months to kind of get your ducks in a row, and I'm going to try to have all my stuff done by the end of this month if I can, so I don't get myself in too big of a time crunch there in January, because I'm going to fish the Southern Opens as well as the Elite Series. So you got that first Southern Open the first week before the Elite Series. So I need to get everything done by, I guess, the last week of January, really. So.
All right, man, I know you've been doing this game for quite some time. You've been guiding, but I'm curious on this. And let's throw out the forward-facing sonar scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Has there been somebody in the tournament game that you've watched, that you've followed, that you've said to yourself, man, I wish my game could be like that? I'm going to work toward finding out everything I can to be that type of player when it comes to certain techniques or experience on the water. Has there been anybody like that? Who would it be?
For me, I would say Neal. I know Michael pretty well, and in my opinion, he's a top five angler in the world. He doesn't get the respect he deserves, in my opinion. But
you're just making him look like a superstar.
I don't know if you listened to the first segment.
I might have heard a little bit, but no.
Okay.
Michael, I know Michael pretty well, and I've been around Michael a lot the last few years, and he's kind of like a big brother for me. He probably doesn't realize that, but I look up to what he does, and he goes about it the right way, and he's a really good fisherman. I've learned a lot just from watching him the last few years. So I would say Michael Neal's definitely the guy I kind of try to be like.
All right, one more question, then I'll send it to Matt. Are you teaming up with anybody next year? Are you going to room with anybody? Are you going to travel with anybody? What's the scoop on that?
I think the plan right now, I'm going to room with Cody Huff and KJ Queen as far as I know. I think that's the plan.
That's a strong young gun group right there.
Yeah. All right, Matt.
Hey, here's my question. Is it hard starting a guiding business? And from what I understand, it's like you. It's not like you're not part of like a big guide network. It's you, and getting people to spend hundreds of dollars of their own to come go fish with a 20-year-old. Like that would have to be kind of intimidating to even get into that industry, knowing somewhat how competitive the guide business is, but yet it seems like you've really found a little niche in there and really enjoy doing it just based on following you on social media.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not easy for sure. When you first start, you have no clientele whatsoever, so you have no reputation whatsoever. So starting out, it's the first few months for me were really, really tough just to try to get a good reputation and all that. And, and fortunately for me, I was able to leverage what I accomplished in college fishing and having qualified for the Classic and winning a national championship and winning the Classic bracket. That was a big help. I was able to get quite a few people just leveraging what I had accomplished, tournament wise. And then from there, it's just kind of grown as I've gotten a reputation and people have wrote, said good things about me to other people. It's grown, and now, I stay as busy as I want to be for the most part. I try not to overdo it. I could fish 7 days a week if I wanted to. I could guide 7 days a week if I wanted to, but I need a break from every once in a while. I tend to get a little burnout here and there, but yeah, it's not an easy business to get into, especially here on Chickamauga, because we've got, I think there's, last I checked, there was like 9 or 10 full-time guides out here, so it's not easy.
Do you remember your first trip? Not like that was recommended or that you kind of knew, but your first true, I have no idea who this guy is. This guy just picked up a business card and book. Like, do you remember, like, what do you remember about that first day?
That I didn't have a clue what I was doing. No, it was definitely just, it was a different experience because I was, I'm always used to the one that's trying to catch the fish. I'm highly, highly competitive, and it was totally different going from I want to catch more fish to you to now I want you to catch them, and I don't care if I catch one. It's definitely a different. It was just a totally different experience. It took me a few trips to adjust to that because I wanted to fish so bad, but I'm like, that's not right for me to catch all the fish. They're here to catch the fish and learn something. So, that's the deal. And the biggest thing, the hardest part for me getting started was, realizing that fishing's fishing. Not every day is going to be
Mm-hmm.
what they want. And you guys know how it is. It's called fishing and not catching for a reason. It's not always easy, and the only thing that I can guarantee for them is that they have a good time and they learn something, and that's the number one goal for the day. And if we catch any fish, that's a big bonus.
That's the other thing, and we talk to a lot of guys who actually guide, sometimes part-time, sometimes full-time in between tournaments, but what percentage of clientele would you say are there to learn, and what percentage are just there to say, take me to this spot, tell me where to cast, and I just want my rod to be bent the whole day, and what percent are, hey man, I just want to learn from you?
Not anymore. I'd say like 80% of them are more here to learn, and
really?
they want to learn something from me. But 20% they're just there to catch fish. Especially since I made the Elite Series, most everyone just wants to come get in the boat with me and pick my brain a little bit, which those always end up being the most fun trips for me, just because we have a good time, and the conversation is always really, really good, and the day goes by quick, and we have a lot of fun. And then there's the people that don't have a lot of experience fishing and don't have the slightest clue who I am, or don't care about tournament fishing whatsoever, and they're just there to catch fish. But
hey, I'm curious, how is Chick right now in the fall?
It's up and down right now. You'll have a really good day, and then a day where you think you're fishing in the Dead Sea. It's for the most part, it's getting better every day. Now we're finally starting to get some cool weather. Right now it's about 45, and it's not supposed to get a whole lot warmer. The water temp's still in the low 60s, so it's the past few weeks have been really, really tough. We had the fall turnover, and we had a lot of fishing pressure. We had a big college tournament, a big high school tournament out here not too long ago, so it was pretty tough. But this past week has been pretty good. I think yesterday we caught close to 40 yesterday.
Strong.
Couple big ones. Yeah, it's getting better. It's getting better every day.
Did I read that correctly, that you're also an Ohio guy?
I am. I grew up in East Central Ohio.
Now it's half the field, apparently.
Crazy.
Yeah, I moved to Tennessee 8 or 9 years ago. I think.
And you also guide on Nickajack and Watts Bar. You're going to continue that this season in between Elite Series events and all that, I would assume?
Yeah, I'm going to do a little bit. I'm not going to do a whole bunch, I don't think. I offer Watts Bar and Nickajack, but I can count on one hand the number of times I've been on either one of those lakes on a guide trip. So.
Oh, not really selling the Watts Bar Nickajack package.
All right, my last question is, Jacob, I want to know, are you a goal setter? In other words, do you set goals, especially going into next year in the Elite Series? Do you have a goal of, obviously, cashing in 4 out of 8 or whatever the number is? Is that your style, or is it just one tournament at a time and don't worry about goals?
No, I definitely set some goals, and I try to, set a standard for myself. I don't really set the little tiny small goals. I go for I just like a big goal. I like to challenge myself. So, obviously next year for me, like a goal would be to win Rookie of the Year or even AOY at that. I would really like to be to be one of the only rookies to have ever won AOY. Obviously, I'd like to win a big blue trophy and all the stuff like that. But I think for me, the most important goal for myself next year, really, I just want to make a name for myself out there and show myself that I can compete at that level. And I think that's the biggest goal for me, really.
All right. Cool.
Anything
Matt?
else is just a bonus for me.
All right, Matt.
Well, I've been saving my best question for last because I know it'll really get Jeffrey's going. I mean, it's right up his alley.
Jeez.
Oh, it's good. You're gonna love this.
Okay.
And I want to get both your takes on it to where I think that after you hear this, Jacob might be a business savvy individual with his eyes on the future and what is best for him financially and professionally. So you do this. You win all this in 17. You get your expenses paid. You fish the 18 Classic. You fish all these opens in 18. You would think, man, there's no way I could step away from this. I got to keep doing it. But then you take 2019 off. And it even said in a couple interviews that it was to get your finances together so you wouldn't have to go into debt fishing and spend all this money that you didn't have, and then came back in 2020, regrouped. Dude, that would be really hard for me as a 19 or 20-year-old who just came off the wrap boat in the Bassmaster Classic to take a step back and say, I'm going to get all my ducks in a row before I make another run at it. Is that kind of how it went down?
Yeah, I fished, all of 2018. I fished all the opens, and I fished just a few college tournaments. I didn't really, you could say I really only fished one full college year, and that would have been my freshman year. And then, I had so much fun fishing the opens in 18 and the Classic, and I learned way more in 2018 than I did fishing the college series in 17. Like I felt like I grew a whole lot, and I planned on fishing college in 19, but the closer we got to the 19 season, the more I'm like, you know what, I don't really know if I want to fish the college series next year. I felt like I learned so much in fishing the opens, and I grew so much as an angler because fishing the college series at that time, you could get away with a bad day here and there and still do good in the tournament. Where in the opens is you don't get that opportunity. You got to catch them every single day, or you get left behind pretty quick. Man, you know what I'm talking about when I say that. And you can't have a bad day in the opens. And I thought about it really long and hard, and I'm like, well, do I want to sit out? I had wanted to fish the opens in 19 as well as the college series, but my coach wasn't going to allow that to happen. Nothing against the guys at Bryan for that, but I didn't want to rack up a bunch of student debt at that point in my life because I've always wanted to fish for a living, and I'm like, you know what, I'm at a young age. I'm going to give myself until I'm 25 to make it, and if I don't, I'll go back and finish my degree. So I ended up dropping out. Got a full-time job there in 19, saved up a bunch of money, and jumped back in the opens in 20. And fortunately for me, it's worked out good. I wouldn't say I wouldn't necessarily tell everyone to do that. That's probably not the wisest decision. But having the doors open that I did when I won the Classic bracket and fishing the opens in 18, having all the doors that opened for me, it was an easy decision for me to do that. This is all I've ever wanted to do. So I was going to give myself 5 years to do it, and if I didn't do it, then I was going to go back and finish my degree. And who knows, maybe down the road I'll still go back and finish my degree just so I kind of have a safety blanket. And if the Elite Series doesn't work out like I want it to.
All right, he's got a plan, Matt.
He's got a plan.
He's got a plan.
If you want to get on the water, it's Jacob Foutz Fishing. You actually have an updated guide service website, which is one of the few guys who's actually updated. A lot of them you go, it's like in 2012, I'll be fishing this circuit. And it's like, dude, that thing hasn't been updated in 9 years, but you're updated.
Yep. I keep it up to date.
He's doing the right thing. All right, man. Want to thank you for taking time out. This has been a great week, and wish you nothing but the best your rookie season next year.
Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna go try to make some noise out there and make a name for myself. I'm super excited, and I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff, man. Best of luck to you, Jacob.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. See you. There you have it. Good dude, man. Guy's got a plan.
We can catch him,
and he can catch him. So
I just think that's interesting. That would be really hard to do?
It would be. Especially with the success that he had.
And as young as he was and coming off of all the media and then having been in the Classic.
But the biggest thing that I got out of that last question was he's going to give himself until he's 25. Mm-hmm. Remember we had that discussion earlier this week. He's kind of set a timetable where I'm going to have success over the next 3-4 years. Mm-hmm. If it doesn't happen, I'm going to take the steps to where my backup plan is going to be put into place, go back to college, do whatever he wants to do. And still fish. That's the thing. Even if you're not successful on the Elite Series or the BPT or whatever it is, you still have an opportunity when you're young to still fish and still work toward a really good lifestyle and life from a monetary standpoint. When you're young. That's why if you're going to do it when you're young, do it with a plan, do it with a backup, and see what happens.
So now we have completed Rookie Week for the Elite Series. What are your thoughts overall, having talked to two 22-year-olds and one 23-year-old embarking on the biggest adventures of their lives here in the next couple of months?
We'll do this. We're going to take a break. We'll come back and we'll close out.
I'm interested in your thoughts as the wise sage in the industry who's been there, done that, seen it all.
We will close that out when we come back from our final break. All right? We'll talk about that. By the way, I have some inside info that a fan sent me via email on the status of Lowenbrow. We'll talk about that, too. Everybody stay tuned. We'll come back and wrap things up here on a Wednesday.
The Little John family of crankbaits designed by top tour pro John Cruz have excelled at catching bass in any condition for years. They all feature a flat-sided design and paint jobs that are seldom seen in mass production bait. The Little John family also expands with new rattling versions of the Little John 50 and Little John 50 MD. Both of these baits are proven fish catchers that will now be available in rattling versions for stained and muddy water. They feature the same great action and diving depths as the original 50 and MD sizes.
The Ned Rig. What rod should I be using with the Ned Rig? My favorite is the Denali Lithium multi-spin rod. It's our 7'4" length, great Ned Rig rod. It's got a great sensitive tip on it. It's long enough where I can make long casts, which you're usually fishing clear water with a Ned Rig, and it's got enough backbone to get those fish in. So check it out, Denali Lithium Series 7'4" multi-spin.
Pro-inspired, pro-designed, tested and proven by legends on the water. Dominating the tournament trail for over 50 years. Everything you need, one legendary brand. Strike King.
Hey guys, Major League Fishing Pro Jacob Wheeler here with my new Signature Series line of rods with Duck It Fishing. We have my 7.2 cranking rod right here. Crankbaits can be very fickle, and having the right, having a lot of tip can be too much, and having not enough tip can, lose a lot of fish. So you really got to be careful. If there's one or two techniques that I'm really adamant about having the perfect action is a crankbait, especially like a square bill, a DT6, those medium running crankbaits in the springtime when those fish's mouth are pretty tough. That's when I'm really on top of having my actions just perfect.
Everybody loves to chase bass on the water. But is your most valuable asset protected when it's not on the water? Empire Covers can preserve your bass boat against even the harshest conditions. when the storm is coming, that bass boat needs to be protected. Check out EmpireCovers.com for all your cover needs. Empire Covers is the ultimate solution when it comes to protecting that asset. Empire Covers is the ultimate solution in easy protection for your truck, for your boat, for your car, anything that needs to be protected from the elements. BTL listeners can receive free shipping plus an extra 15% off their entire order on EmpireCovers.com. Just use the promo code BTL at checkout. Empire Covers. Protect what you love. All right, we are back, wrapping up day number 3. And you know what follows day number 3, Matthew?
Knowledge from Uncle Frank.
That would be day 4 tomorrow.
He's running out. Is he running out of days up there?
What do you mean?
To fish.
Well, it's not iced over yet.
He's close to
They had some
right?
snow. I think they had some snow blow
I'm
through
just
there.
saying, there comes a point at that part of the country where your options become extremely limited.
Yeah.
He's Cleveland, right? Look up Cleveland.
Yeah. That's why we had to postpone the big matchup between myself and Frank against you and Frank Jr. We're going to do it in the spring. We're not going to do it during the winter or during the fall.
Wait a second. There's no way this is right.
What?
Oh, that's Oklahoma. Wait. Cleveland,
Ohio.
Ohio.
Not Cleveland, Oklahoma.
Well, no, it's still fishing weather in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
50s and 60s for the next 10 days.
Yeah.
With good air quality.
Yeah, that's not bad. He's hitting it every day he can, man. He's getting on the water.
A little bit of rain, but those could just be the tears of Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh, geez. Yeah, we will have a short, and I preface that by saying very short discussion on, come on, man. Parents on Twitter talking about Baker Mayfield. Please.
It is what it is. All right, we got to get back to what we were talking about.
Yeah, hang on. I got to give the update here from Bubba Barksdale sent me an email. It said Miller Brewery had the rights to, and it actually was brewed here in the United States before it was phased out. I worked for Miller from 1988 till 2003. So Lowenbrau was actually a Miller product.
And you learned about it in college?
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if it's one of those deals where, oh yeah, I got a 6-pack of Lowenbrau down in the basement fridge that's been there for 20 years, Mark. Let's break it open. I don't know. You can't do that with beer, can you?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think you can. It's
There's
not like wine.
Yeast and stuff in there that goes bad after a hot minute.
All right, man. Great week, as I mentioned. Very cool idea, cool concept. Let's kind of wrap up our thoughts. You go first.
Impressive on all 3 counts, but all 3 new Elite Series pros that we had on this week, I think, enter with a varying level of expertise and expectations for themselves.
Yeah. I think they did an outstanding job, all 3 interviews. I think all 3 of the guys, though maybe a little tentative, but I think it's full force, 100% all in trying to be successful next year. I think there are definitely challenges, both off the water from a business standpoint and on the water. And here's something that I always look for in a rookie class. How much are they intimidated by the surroundings of what takes place on the Elite Series? Do you know what I'm talking about? You know, that first event, you're sitting there, you launch your boat, it's day 1, they're getting ready to call off your name, you look around, you see all these really, really fantastic anglers that have been doing this forever.
Your boat bumps into Seth Fider. You miss your call out the first time.
Yeah.
You got Zaldane going, dude, get in line.
You know, there's guys out there that could say 2 or 3 words, and depending on you how you handle those 2 or 3 words,
Hackney looks at you.
Good point. Just how do you handle...
Jason Christie says, hope you're not going to that creek for your first stop.
How do you handle the pressure of that rookie competition? And that's really what I'm going to kind of keep my eye on during the first few events. And what about going back to the old statement? Well, you're not competing against Greg Hackney. You're competing against the fish.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the attitude to have as a rookie?
It's just what gets you going. Some people competition against other people. Some people competition against fish. I mean, the reality is whether you're fishing okay, so just take day one on Grand, Bassmaster Open. It doesn't matter whether you're out fun fishing, whether you're in a club tournament, a Bass Nation tournament, a Bassmaster Open, an Elite Series, or a Bassmaster Classic.
Yeah.
Literally, they always say, well, the fish doesn't know. The fish literally does not know the level of competition that is taking place.
No
right
idea.
then. Now, obviously, their positioning, where they are, your access to the water, that changes based on the level of competition. So that does change. Like your access of what you would be able to fish in a weekend 50-boat tournament is not the same. The fish are not going to be exactly the same as they were after a 200-boat open with practice or a 100-boat Elite Series field where a larger percentage of the field is on more of the quote-unquote juice. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that being said, the fish does not know whether you're in an Elite Series competition or whether you're in a club tournament. So 14 pounds is 14 pounds.
Yeah, I get it.
And yeah, one might win one. A 14 might win a club tournament. It might be 15th on the Elite Series. But if you go out and catch fish, you will have success. If you go out in onesies and twosies and zero, it doesn't matter whether you're fishing the Tuesday night jackpot or the Bassmaster Elite Series. You're going to suck on both.
Yeah. Do you know, is everybody guaranteed a check next year?
I don't think so.
I haven't dove into that situation to see what the scenarios are for 2022.
I'll also say, though, I think, and one of the biggest things, and Brad will talk about this, is the Opens move fish more than an Elite Series or a BPT event, because you're dealing with 4 times as many anglers because you have co-anglers in the back of the boat too.
Yeah.
And you're dealing with a lot more hooks in fish on isolated targets because, and this is just my opinion, as you get higher and higher in the levels, you have guys who understand practices better. And instead of lacking confidence with one day before the tournament and not knowing if you're catching them, and then going down a bank and getting 6 bites and saying, dude, I just caught 15 pounds. I'm going to catch them tomorrow. A guy who's been there and done that has said, 5-6 years ago, I'd sit here and jack on these fish, or I'd even shake these fish off and stuff. But I've kind of got a pattern. I shook one fish off there, and I'm going to let it roll tomorrow because I know this is productive water. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people that burn fish to give them confidence before the tournament starts. Yeah. And as you get higher and higher, you realize a lot of the top egg guys are shaking a lot of fish off, and they're identifying productive water without burning it.
Do you think you have to learn how to practice then?
100%.
Okay. That makes sense. That's a great 100%
you have to learn how to practice.
On the Elite Series.
You have to learn when to shake them off, when not to shake them off. When you're hurting them, if you're shaking them off. When you're not hurting them. When you're hurting yourself by not catching them.
Yeah.
When you take a spot and you burn it because you know you've got a pattern going and you've caught 1 3-pounder, but then you've caught 5 or 6 12-inchers. Do you just hope that it's a 1-in-6 ratio, or do you say, hey, I'm going to take this stretch. I've got more stretches around it, but I'm going to spend 2 hours and catch everything I can here to see if it's actually a viable option?
Yeah, good point.
Are the fish staying put? What time of the year is it? Are they migrating? Are you chasing schooling fish where these fish are most likely now going to be gone when you come back the next day because it was a conditions favor? Was there wind crashing in on it? Was there bait fish up there that are gone? Yes, 100%.
All right. Out of all the years that we've covered this game, when it comes to a rookie class, how many times do you think a rookie approaches an event and he says this, I'm just going to wing it? Do you think rookies take that approach? We've heard that approach from seasoned veterans before, but is that good advice? Is that a good tactic to just say, I'm just going to wing it? What are your thoughts?
That's 100% depends on the guy. That's your mental makeup.
Okay.
Some guys can handle that. Some guys can't. Would you not agree?
I think rookies have to have a plan. I think that is one of the vital things that take place off the water, that you educate yourself during practice. And I think it's a great point that you said that you have to learn how to practice, but you're able to interpret everything that has taken place and utilize the things that you can do off the water to put together a game plan. I think it is a miserable plan to just wing it when you're a rookie.
I think it could either be a miserable plan, but it could also be that thing that allows you to succeed because you're doing something that no one else is doing and you don't know any better.
Do you know any rookies that just went out and winged it? I think they get to a frustration point sometimes because they do not have success, that they get to that point and they go, I'm just going to go out and wing it. I'm done.
Like I said, it just depends on how that rookie fishes.
Do you wing it? I've never known you to just go out and wing it.
Yeah, I winged it on Grand, but I spent
yeah, but
5 days to where I was comfortable.
How much
with
knowledge do you have on that body of water?
Listen, you're more likely to wing it after. I don't wing it a lot, but you're more likely. This is just talking to people when you are in the zone because you know you're making good decisions. You don't know why. You're listening to yourself. You're not second guessing it. If you're thinking about the reasoning behind your decision while you're, quote, winging it, that's when you're screwed. If you know what winging it is, all winging it is fishing the moment, fishing the conditions, quote, listening to the fish, all the cheap cliches that we hear all these guys saying, that's all that winging it is. It's listening to your intuition based on your years of experience on the water and your self-confidence in your decision-making, coupled with the success that you've had that have proven, hey, I have made spur-of-the-moment decisions and it has resulted in positive outcomes.
That's adjusting. That's different. What I'm talking about is...
But that's what I'm saying. But you're more likely when you're in one of those grooves and when you've done it before to just go out and... What is it? The biggest one? Oh, I just went out and fished free. Fish free, fish the moment, fish the conditions. KVD, it's all about the attitude.
But, dude, they had a plan, though. They had an initial plan. That's what I'm talking about. Now, the greatest anglers in the world, they are able to adjust on the fly.
Right.
And if you want to classify that as winging it, that's fine. You could. But they had an initial plan.
I consider winging it as like
first spot.
Having absolutely no reason why you're fishing that bank and you're just like, screw it, there's a bank. Let's hope there's one on it.
That's winging it.
Yeah, no one wings it and succeeds.
It's the ability to adjust.
Now you literally are gambling. Because you're taking something completely random and there's no thought process behind it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's winging it is completely clueless, like literally blindfold yourself and wherever you run into the bank at idle is where you start fishing. That's winging it.
I think, I'll say this, all three of these guys, I think one of the biggest things that they're going to have to overcome, I don't care what their mental capacity is from a confidence standpoint, from a preparation standpoint, they're going to have to battle through adversity. I think that is the number one thing that rookies have a huge challenge with, is when things don't go their way based upon their plan, possessing the ability to change on the fly and make those critical adjustments based upon not what you found, but what is happening when you're on the water on day 1, 2, and 3. Yes or no?
That's fair.
All right.
Hey, we got to mention this before. I know he sent you a message about it. We have him on. I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out exactly when the cutoff is, but the King's Home giveaway with Randy Howell, where when you make a $100 donation to King's Home, you get the opportunity to win. I guess the name of his boat is Hope 11 XI. Is that it in the Roman numeral? XI, is that 11? Hope 11.
This is the 11th year?
I would assume. I don't know why else he would name his boat Hope 11 on November 13th at the annual. I'm reading this if you haven't noticed. Because I need to get it right. There's all sorts of terminology in this. You remember when we've been through the terminology for this? The annual Randy Howell Hope festival. And obviously King's Home helps preteens, women, teenagers, kids in need who have been through some pretty rough stuff. So kingshome.com. I think I've read somewhere, and I don't see this here, they've raised over $1 million.
Wow.
Like over like 1-point-something million for this giveaway, but it's kingshome.com, and then you donate $100, and then you get a chance to win Hope 11, which is his 2021 TRX Elite. Hold on, let me see if there's a cutoff date for this. I've done enough on this that I kind of know my way around this.
Okay.
Donations open through noon on November 13th, 2021.
Okay.
A ticket is a donation of $100. Gets you a chance for this giveaway. So you have you have 10 days to do this, but $100 well spent for a chance to get your hands on Hope 11.
All right.
Boy, in that picture, I don't know who shined the tires. Look at how shiny these tires are, Mark. Have you ever seen? Look at that.
That's some tire shine there.
I mean, those tires, you could see your reflection in the black rubber on the walls of the tire. Like those things, that's highly impressive.
Yeah. So where do they go if they want to buy a ticket?
King's Home, you just go to kingshome.com, and then at the top, this is how you know you've made it. It says service, about, get involved, contact us, and then there's just a Randy Howell tab.
He has his own tab.
You just click on the Randy Howell tab. Check out how shiny the tires and ribs are on the new Triton.
All right, last test of the day for you. We'll see if you know this. Who was the last person at Bass to win Angler of the Year and Rookie of the Year in the same year?
Angler of the Year and Rookie of the Year in the same year?
Yeah.
It wasn't Mark Davis in 95, was it? No, that was Classic.
No.
Timmy Horton?
I think it was Tim Horton. I think you're right. Maybe somebody out there could help us out on that. We don't have Ken Duke, but I think Tim Horton was the last one to do it. Long time ago. Long time ago. Could be wrong on that, but I think that it was Tim Horton. Man, you're good with looking up that stuff.
Well, that's why I came off the top of my head. I was thinking Angler of the Year and Classic in the same year.
I think that was Mark Davis.
And I think Kevin's had to have done that, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But, wait, you're saying Rookie of the Year and Angler of the Year?
The same year.
Who else has come close? Did Wolak come close?
I don't think so.
Did Kennedy came close?
Did he?
I think Kennedy might have come close.
Huh. Don't know. All right. Think that's going to wrap it up. You got anything else, man?
Next week's show, so we got day 4 tomorrow, but we won't really talk about it. So we've got a very BTL next Monday.
Huh. Okay.
I've talked to you about this, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I did.
What is it?
The concept for sponsorship, treating anglers like commodities.
Oh, yeah. I had a senior moment again. Sorry, man. Yeah, I remember this. This is going to be interesting. Is your phone ringing?
No, that's yours.
It's my phone.
Who is that?
Oh, it's AJ.
You need to get it?
No, I'll call him after.
Who's he playing this week?
They're on the road. Their last 2 games are on the road. I'm not sure. Someplace in Arkansas.
They didn't make the rankings?
No. Dude.
Were they snubbed?
No, they're having a
You got an issue with the committee?
No. Hey, he's going to graduate early. That's what matters. In April or May or whatever it is.
Wait, he's already ready to graduate?
Yeah.
So this is his last year of football?
No, he's got 3 years eligibility.
That's what
left.
I thought. How's he graduating early?
Dude, he jammed in the classroom.
Was he taking summer school and school as a senior in high school?
No, he was doing intercession, and then for 3 semesters, I think he took 17 hours.
Is that on your urging, or is that all him?
That's all him, man.
What's he want to do? I don't even know.
He wants to go to graduate school. Wants to be a GA.
What's that?
A graduate assistant.
Where he not for like a career.
Yeah, that's what he. No, I mean he wants to be a GA and get into coaching. That's what he wants to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What sport?
Football.
That's just ironic. Grows up with a dad who coaches baseball and basketball.
Yeah.
Starts playing football as a junior in high school?
No, senior. He
Senior
played
in
1
high
year of
school.
football.
And now he's going to end up being a football coach.
That's what he wants to do. That and strength and conditioning. You know, dude, he's so ripped. He is a specimen.
He is.
I mean, he is jacked.
Yes, whenever he comes into the studio, I'm like, dude, I remember when you weighed 75 pounds when we were playing on dirt mounds outside the best. Okay, so two things. So I can say his name. He's going to be on the show. Daniel Whitehouse, and he's a lawyer down in Florida. And out of nowhere, and I talked.
Well, he's helping us out on.
He's helped out before. He actually reached out to me when we had this stuff on the Harris chain, and he's like, "Hey man, I catch him on the Harris chain." And then he gave me a lake, like one of the lakes, and like an idiot, I was like, "Yeah, thanks for that." And then I went to the farthest lake on the opposite end of the chain that I possibly could, and sucked. And he was like, "Yeah, that's a life decision that you made there." Yeah. Anyway, but he has some very interesting, intriguing. He fishes tournaments. He does really well in tournaments too. But he's a lawyer. I think he fishes with another lawyer, and they do like the type of lawyer stuff that people who are business owners need lawyers for. So he deals with a lot of guys who own their own companies, and he follows the fishing, and he has a whole lined out concept of how potentially good anglers could get financial backing that puts them in a better position earlier without having to worry about it, and then benefits.
Are we going to have a PowerPoint?
I don't know. I'm going to have to call him today and see. So anyway, it's a very Mark Jeffrey show. It's going to deal with money. It's going to deal with sponsorship. It's going to deal with like reality. It's going to deal with getting your stuff in order. And then Tuesday show, another one is Andrew Upshaw. We're going to talk about the business side of that, the importance of TV. Is there still a market for TV? Like turn your TV on and watch stuff, and the whole YouTube and the fishing and that. And then we're working on Wednesday's show. I can also announce, if we have 3 minutes, do we have 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to add to Monday's show?
No, we're good.
Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
I mean, I called before I cleared it with you before I booked it.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot.
Like, hey,
I'm intrigued by the concept. Very intrigued.
If he chooses to have PowerPoints and stuff, can we show that on the...
Yeah.
You know how to...
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm not putting it on him, Daniel. If you're listening, you don't feel obligated to have PowerPoints. You can just come on and wing it.
Yes.
Because we're not actually going to walk it through. Like the first time we hear this, it's going to be on the show.
Yeah. Off the cuff, man.
Yeah.
We're winging it.
So here's the deal on the merchandise.
Do tell.
Black Friday is when we're shooting for a store opening.
Okay.
Now, if you have supported BTL, My Quest in the Opens, over the past 2 merchandise drops, you will know that the only way that this was feasible with the company that we worked with, which they did a great job of working with, was you order it, the store's open for 2 weeks, it opens, it closes, and then they make the garments based on orders.
Right.
No longer, because I was like, we got to get everything to people by Christmas, before Christmas. There's an ugly Christmas sweater in this mix. It's phenomenal. I'm going to try to get him to send one of us so we can wear it before to kind of promote it more.
Okay.
You said you would wear it. Now, granted,
I'll wear it.
You'll have a striped polo on underneath it.
Yeah, I'll wear it.
But they're pre-making everything, right? So, like, it's finalized. The proofs are finalized. So anything that is made, it'll just be like, hey, it's sold out when it's done. But it'll then be mailed when you order it. So there's
there'll be a cutoff. There'll be a cutoff.
And there will be a cutoff for the last day to order to receive your stuff by Christmas.
Yeah.
AFCO sweatshirt with the covers your face.
Okay.
That deal. 2 different styles of sweatshirts. One of them's like a polyester kind of more sport sweatshirt. It's the same sweatshirt that the Bass Tank does their stuff on. I really like it.
Okay.
No chafing. And then another sweatshirt, we're actually doing a beanie, a flip-up beanie, one long-sleeve shirt, and then like a soft twill hat, not a Richardson 112, for all those who like the kind of baseball hat style more so than
low profile.
Low-profile hat. Yeah. And then we'll also have the stickers and all that stuff. And then here's the thing. Then going into next year, we'll have a basic inventory, hopefully starting next spring, to like if you just want to get like a T-shirt in March or something like that, you can. And then we'll do specialty shirts every time, like the Dink and Dunk shirt or Brad Hallman shirt, or if Jeffrey says anything bold.
Stupid.
No, bold. So that's the plan on that. So Black Friday, I think it's good looking stuff. I'll have a preview on it on my Instagram and stuff. So if you're wanting some BTL merch for your friends, if your wife's like, hey, what do you want for Christmas or whatever, that type of stuff.
That's it.
It will be available, and you will be able to get it guaranteed by Christmas, and it will open on Black Friday.
Very nice.
So there you go.
And Matt's worked really hard on this, folks. So take advantage of the opportunity to get your BTL merch. Black Friday coming out, and I saw the proofs. It's cool stuff.
I just got the
like
actual finalized proof literally like 2 minutes ago, which is what reminded me that I needed to say it.
Yeah. It's great stuff. So, Uncle Frank, tomorrow, he's on the water today. I have no idea what he's going to talk about tomorrow, but we will definitely talk a little Cleveland Browns football just for a few minutes.
They switched the sleeve on that. That's what you were talking about, right?
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. That way when you're holding up a fish, you can see that it says Bass Talk Live.
Yeah.
I like that design, don't you?
Yeah, it's cool.
That's a cool one. And then, this was the switch. They changed that, took that out.
Yeah, that looks good.
You like the BTL green there?
Yeah, it looks good. It's good stuff coming, folks. All right, that's it. That's going to wrap up Wednesday. Everybody out there, be safe. That's it. We're out of here.